Yo, 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 what up? This is Scoozy, and I'm back with a brand new episode from this lovely Primecraft server. I was just here in the community farming district getting some food. I was breeding up some cow. Gonna go home and cook some steaks. Last episode, we built this little thing here. Um, yeah, it's a carrot and potato farm, fully automatic there. We got the villagers inside, and they're doing their thing, planting crops and harvesting it for us. So that's pretty fantastic. I'm just going to go ahead and chuck this beef into the furnace here, get it cooking. And I wanted to show you the system that I'm using there to handle the items. It's kind of cool. So basically, it's a shulker box loading system. So I took a quick look at a video that I believe Zoom Avoid did. And this is fairly similar to his design. He had an observer in here. I don't know exactly what that was doing. And he had two hoppers um, passing an item back and forth. And again, that was because of some sort of bug with the shulker box and repeater thing, or comparator. But I think this was like a fairly old video, so I don't know if that bug's been fixed. I haven't encountered it. So I have neither of those components. But basically what happens is this dispenser back here, um, I'm going to have hoppers leading into it so that you can stock it with shulker boxes from somewhere outside of the farm. And those dispense out here to where this orange shulker box is. So the orange shulker box is connected to all of the hopper chain outputs from all of the individual farm cells. So every carrot and potato that is grown in this farm will pass through these hopper chains and into the shulker box that's here. Now, this redstone block with the dust on top is basically emitting the strongest redstone signal that you can have in the game, which is 16. So it is going into the side of the comparator. So the comparator is now comparing any input from the back against this value. A single shulker box, when full of stacked items, will output a signal strength of 16 as well. So until this shulker box is completely full, this will not output any redstone signal at all. And then the second this thing is full, the comparator will fire, setting off two lines. One line comes up here and is connected to the piston, which will break the shulker box into an entity. The other line comes down here and powers this block, which will depower this torch. So the hopper that the shulker box is currently sitting on top of will now allow items in. So it will take in the shulker box that's been broken, and then also once that torch becomes depowered, it will power this torch, which will fire the dispenser, and the dispenser will place a new shulker box back into the spot here. So one more time through that, this thing becomes full. It outputs a signal which will power the piston, breaking it, and also depower this torch, which will allow the hopper underneath this orange shulker box to take in the shulker box. The torch going out also will allow this torch to come on, which will fire the dispenser and replace the box. So basically, this system is completely functioning except for bringing the item somewhere through this hopper chain and connecting this dispenser up to an input so that we can load it with shulker boxes from somewhere other than here. And for where this is all going to happen, I want to do it in my villager trading area because that's where we are going to be using all of the stuff from this farm. It's all for villagers, right? So let me just come in here. Oh yeah, I got it all closed in now. I think I can ender pearl through. So what I've done is I've finally finished. Well, it's not even quite done, but I've come a lot closer to finishing the end here. And this end bit is going to be only for farmers. So You come along here, we have a farmer. He's got pretty good trades. They're not the best. Actually, 15 potatoes might be. 16 carrots. We got a couple of them in there. And anyways, we want to have our best farmers in here, so I have room for 8. Now what I'm thinking is I want to have the shulker boxes full of carrots and potatoes and eventually wheat to come here and maybe be dispensed like in this spot here, and then have I can get rid of this light. Yeah, I maybe have like a hopper underneath it that leads back. So we're gonna need a two direction item stream, one for bringing them in and one for empty boxes going back. And so basically, I think I was just gonna have to get in there and just do a bunch of digging and arranging and figuring. And when I get a little bit of something together enough that I can actually explain it, I'll come back and show you what we've done. Okay, so I think I got a little something worked out here. So this is connected to a hopper line out back, and because all of these blocks are powered for the rails, it was tricky to hide these hoppers any better than this. I don't think it's too bad. You'll only see it on the extreme angles at the end of the haul, so I'm gonna live with it. But yeah, basically, it'll be full of shulkers. You'll hit it to dispense it, and when you're done, break it, and the hopper picks it up. It's very, very simple. The only thing that I do need to do is work out a little bit of a system to lock this hopper until you want to send the shulker box home, because what is happening is as soon as you dispense it, it's unloading items into the hopper. So I'm going to work on that, but I do want to show you something over here really quick. Check out these villagers. Oh my, I gotta get up there and get a closer look. I'm afraid to fall in because I don't know what would happen to me. There we go, got a nice screenshot. Look, these guys can't even make it into the system because there's too many hitboxes in their way. So at some point here I'm going to have to go through and sort through these. Look at the freaking amount of green coats. There is like probably 30% nitwits in here. That's ridiculous. Anyways, we're going to sort through these guys, work on this a little bit more, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. It's several days later for me now, and I'll explain that in just a second. But yeah, here we are. So this is right underneath where our shulker box is. The shulker box is sitting on top of this hopper, and this is the dispenser that dispenses new ones into its place when you hit the button. So on the floor above the pink block is a button, and that will power this block, temporarily depowering the torch and allowing the shulker box that you no longer need to be sucked up by the hopper and brought through this hopper line, spit out of this dropper, into a water stream, which will carry it over towards our carrot and potato farm, and I'll show you where that meets up in a second. We also have, I might need to get a little higher to show you this. Where's the way in? It's over here. So basically, this hopper line here is connected to a water stream. Oh, fell in a hole. And that water stream, that's not the way, is this water stream. So it comes all the way from the carrot and potato farm and works its way down there and feeds our dispenser inside the trading hall. Alright, now, back over this way. See if I can fly today. Yep. Okay, so the water stream that's bringing the shulker boxes, the empty ones, back, is connected to this item elevator. And that will take it into the roof here and down into some hoppers, and that will load our shulker box packer. If I go under here, things look very different than they did the last time I showed you this, and this is why it's been several days between clips, because, well, after I got this set up and ready to rock, but before I did the item streams, I came in here and I did a little bit of an AFK session to build up a little bit of stockpile so I could trade with villagers. Now, when I came back from that AFK session, I came out through here and I was basically stuck in a little bit of a hole, and a creeper hopped on me, blew up, and took out the entire shulker box loader, the entire thing. It took me a while to figure out and build, and there it was, gone in a second. And I was really tempted to just rage quit. And so I did for a little while, and then I came back on and decided I would take a break from this, just temporarily, and that I would go and do a few other things. So I went and I helped AZ Badfish break a hole in the roof of the Nether, just above our Nether hub, so that we can make a kind of a marked pathway several thousand blocks through the Nether to a location that we will be using for a project, which I think at this moment is Hush Hush. So I won't talk about what that project is necessarily. I'll leave that to somebody else. But that's what we did. We went up there and we broke, it was a 5x3 hole, several layers through the bedrock, and then on the other end we made also another little hole so we could build a portal. And yeah, so now that's all connected up. I also went through and I organized my base. Almost all my chests are gone now and packed into shulker boxes and waiting to be organized up top. But yeah, back to this. It blew up, and it's kind of almost a good thing that it did, because one thing that I had not considered and was basically would have broke this whole system are these. I don't know if I can access. Yeah, these poisonous potatoes. So I forgot about poisonous potatoes, and yeah, basically, I'm not entirely sure how they end up in the system, because you can't plant them, and the only ones that should be going in here are the ones that he plants and then dislodges with by stepping on the pressure plate. But either way, one ended up in there, and so I decided that when I rebuilt this, I would add in a item filter for poisonous potatoes. And we have gotten another one since I put this filter in, so I guess it happens every now and then. And if one were to end up in this shulker box, it would take up one slot, and then this thing wouldn't be considered full by the comparator until you had 64 poisonous potatoes, which, as you can imagine, would take a long time. The entire rest of the shulker box would be full, and all of these hoppers would be full, and really the poisonous potatoes wouldn't even be able to make it in there to start bringing you up towards 64, because they would be stuck behind God knows how many carrots and potatoes. So yeah, I decided that we really needed that item filter, just so that I don't have to come over here like once every 4 days and get rid of this shulker box because it has a poisonous potato in it. Yeah, and then I had to reroute a bunch of the hoppers to get it to actually be able to filter properly, and then that changed the shape that I had to build this. So this is a slightly different design than the first one, but in any event, it now works. All of our brand new empty shulkers come down through here. They load up our dispenser here, and this item stream here will take away all of the full ones and bring them back to the villager trading hall. Pretty sweet. So let's go over and take a little bit of a look at the state of the base at the moment with all that organization that I've done. So yeah, as you can see, where is it? Whoop. All of these chests are gone. I'm down to just 2 chests of junk and 1 chest with full shulkers, and then a bunch of shulkers here which aren't full, but they're all organized. So I think that's pretty good. That took like a long time to do. But yeah, I'm really glad that it is done. So now we can go up and start loading our dispenser. Oh, no, see, I don't know what it is with the flying lately. Yeah, so now we can go up here and start loading our dispenser storage area with shulker boxes full of goods, which is pretty sweet. What else did I do? Oh, I went down and I sorted through a bunch of these villagers. You remember the pile we had just a few minutes ago for you, but days ago for me. Well, now we're down to just these 4 guys, and they've all been bred since I sorted through them earlier this morning. Now, one thing I have noticed is this kind of trading hall. Once you get to about like this mark, it starts to act a little weird. Like these guys were coming through, and they're only supposed to take a half heart of damage when they fall through the soul sand. And I had so many guys die, which is really less than ideal. I mean, if you find a librarian and you're trying to keep him, and then he dies being loaded into your trading hall, yeah, I don't know. So I think for the next couple guys that I try to send in here, I'll try to do a few trades with them first so that their health is full in case they got hurt up in this mess that was happening here, which may be the case. I'm not sure. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for today. This episode has been, like I said, filmed over the course of like 4 days. 4 days, separate days of recording, but like over the course of a week on the server. And so I think it's time to just put it to rest, get it out there for you to check it out. And I hope you did enjoy it. And just so we leave on somewhat of a positive note, I just wanted to do this. Boom! Serious dedication. Completely use up a diamond hoe and then reevaluate your life choices. So yeah, that diamond hoe is the one that I've been using to tend this field of wheat that we've been feeding our villagers with since the dawn of time. And there we go. Now we've used it up and you were here to witness it. So yeah, it's time for me to reevaluate my life choices. Anyways, that's going to do it for me today. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, be sure to go down below and thumb wrestle that like button to show your support. Subscribe if you're new around here, and until next time, this is Scoozy, and I'm saying peace!